Hello and welcome to the Cat's Meow. My name is Catherine Baxter, and joining me today is Deborah Boland from Fabulous After 40. Welcome, Deborah. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Catherine?
I'm fabulous, and I'm so grateful that you were able to join me today. Life is great in Toronto?
I'm actually in Burlington,
Oh, outside. Very nice.
outside of Toronto, but yeah, it's really cold. I was just on a shoot all day today. I just got in and it was so cold. My hands were freezing and I'm changing my clothes in the car and it was awful.
Oh my gosh, for
It's
your
not
web,
glamorous like you think.
it was for your website?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
I'll get a photographer and I'll do 4 or 5 outfit shoots at a time. And I picked a cold day.
I also had a photographer come this week to do my headshot and my full body photo for
Okay,
my portfolio and my website.
good.
So it's wonderful. And I just wanted to say, why did you choose this field? I've looked at your website. It's fabulous. And I was just curious I know what prompted me to choose this field, but how about you?
Image consulting in general or the
Yeah.
website? Oh, image consulting. Okay, well, my background is television. I was a television producer and an on-air host for over 20 years. And my specialty was lifestyle. I worked on all the talk shows, the Canadian talk shows for many, many years. And I used to book all the people with all the weird problems during the Geraldo times. I remember all that, Sally
Yes.
Reffy, all those weirdo people. So I used to do that. And I also used to do, being in lifestyle, I did a little bit of everything. And I kind of fell into the fashion area at that time. There wasn't really anyone doing fashion for television. And I
Hmm.
was producing all the segments. So the people at CTV said, well, why don't you do the fashion segments? So I said, okay, sure. So I started taking some image courses because I wanted to, be qualified to show I knew what I was talking about.
Yes,
And
of course.
yeah, and I started taking some courses, and slowly over the years, while I was doing TV, I just found it interesting, and I kept doing the courses. Well, then when I had my children later in life, my late 30s and early 40s, I got out of television because we were filming all summer long and so forth, and I thought, I really like what I do, but maybe I can do it. Someone said you could do it on the internet, and I said, really? And so I thought, well, I really liked the fashion part of it. So I started doing fashion on the internet, and Fabulous After 40 was born. And that was 11 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
And there wasn't
really,
much happening back then, though. Not
no.
like today.
So like everything that you did had built up to this.
Exactly.
It really,
I always say I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing before. I'm just doing it on the internet.
yes. And for me, I say I've been doing and dressing myself for all these years, and now I know the science and foundation underneath it.
Right.
So the type of skills that you found absolutely so helpful to you were being in television, having jumped in with 2 feet, training.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was in how-to television. So, back then there really isn't too much how-to television anymore. It's more reality television. But that
Yes.
back then there was a lot of how-to television and it kind of went by the wayside. And so then people started finding how-to information on the internet. And I'm a natural teacher. I love to teach. I love to learn. And since I love fashion, I thought, I want to teach fashion online. And what I found was when I got into my 40s that I had always loved fashion my whole life. Ever since I was a little girl, I loved the Barbie dolls. I loved dressing up in high school. I was always the one, oh, what's she wearing today? And so forth.
Hmm.
And and then when I got into my 40s, and same with when I worked, I loved working in the 80s and all the clothes and
Oh
coming
my
into
gosh.
it was fantastic.
Hmm.
I got into my 40s and I found that my body was changing a little bit. It was getting rounder, softer, and I don't know, just some things didn't quite look as good on me anymore, and I was getting a little confused, and I thought, well, oh, maybe my fashion days are over. Maybe that's it. I have to give, maybe that's it. And I thought, no way. I love fashion. I'm not giving this up. It's a little bit harder because, there aren't a lot of stores for women our age.
Hmm.
Um, there weren't a lot of role models at the time. And it was just, challenging to find stuff that looked good on you. So I thought, I'm going to navigate this for myself and for other women. And I'm going to start Fabulous After 40 to help women tweak their chic and look age amazing, as I like to say.
Yes.
And that's what I've done. So it's been 11 years. It was when I first started out, I had a great following right off the bat. But there really wasn't any way to make money except to have offline fashion seminars, which I did.
Right.
But I kept going because I had an audience. And then all of a sudden it caught up to me about 7 years ago. The internet became this monetization machine, and there started to be affiliate marketing and more ads coming on, advertisers coming on. And it's just grown and grown. And now the 40 plus marketplace is huge online. It's really great for women who really had nowhere to turn to find out about fashion. And of course, as an image consultant, I can offer the underpinnings of that too, all the important information about your body shape and the colors for your skin and hair and so forth.
Yes, I think to understand the foundation of the science is so helpful.
It is.
You can take, when things do change, you can take that, change the information and reincorporate who you are with confidence.
Right. It's like a foundation to a house. If you've got good bones to begin with, you understand the bones of the house, you understand the, how your body is and what looks good on you, then it doesn't matter if, purple's in one year and pink's in the next, or snakeskin's in one year and, something else is in the next. You know how to adapt.
Exactly. And, there's snakeskin in different colors now.
Right.
So you can choose your palette in snakeskin now. I mean, everything is everywhere. Leopard print is in almost every palette color now that I see.
You're right.
I think one of the things I attribute my success, and maybe yours also, is the how-to attitude is so important for all of us. If we have that how-to attitude to get things done, and we're researchers, we're passionate, I think that carries us a long way.
I think it's really important to understand all that, because otherwise it's just so confusing. As you say, there's so many trends out there. You think, well, maybe I should try this and maybe I should try that. But when you really understand your body type, the colors that look good on you, it makes everything so much easier. It makes shopping so much easier. It makes dressing so much easier because you're avoiding 99% of the stuff. I mean, I know myself, I'm huge on color. It makes such a difference to me. I don't look good in, black and white, and I need color and I need warm colors. And so when I go shopping, I just go directly. If I walk in and they don't have my colors, I just walk out. It's easy.
It's really simple now because you can scan a store in seconds and say, there's not a 10 out of 10 here because they, number one, don't even carry my color.
Right. And, we went away from color for a long time, that color analysis. Now we're getting back to it. I mean, I think you can be a little too, strict on it sometimes. Some people go a little overboard. Oh, I can only wear this blue, but not this blue. I'm more of a warm cool. Like, I'm a warm person with my hair's more golden and so forth. And I can see you look warm too.
Completely.
Yeah. And so, you can wear the nice warm colors, and that's all you really have to know. Warm, cool. You don't have to, it's not a science. It's just an art.
Yes. And I think the more that you understand about the image consulting and having had the services done, I think the more you can choose for yourself with confidence. I'm promoting things like, get your 10 out of 10 clothing. Start with a good color for you. Start with the fit. If it doesn't support who you are, it's not yours. You're a personal shopper for someone you've never even met.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to say it's not worthy of you.
Right. Exactly. Don't waste your time.
Exactly. I agree.
Although I must admit, there's a little bit of a backlash going on at least on the internet with, people saying, well, who cares? Why should you dress for your body type? And, just dress what makes you happy and whatever. And to those people, I say, sure.
Rock on.
I mean, you go ahead. If you want to dress how you feel, that's great too. There's merit in that. But I mean, personally, I like to check all the boxes. I like to dress for my body type. I like to dress for my colors. I like to dress for how I'm feeling and my personality and what I'm doing. I think you kind of do yourself a disservice if you're not doing all that.
And are you dressing for success? If we're trying to communicate our authentic selves through dress,
Hmm.
we're an appearance, behavior, our communication. If we are not dressed for who we are and presenting ourselves and our best foot forward, we are not successful in what we want in
Right.
the
Everything's
day.
so important. Personal branding has become so important. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but just because you're being authentic doesn't mean. I mean, you still have to be appropriate too. I mean, you
Always.
can say, "Oh, I'm authentic. I like Jesus sandals and boho tops and tasseled shorts and things." Well, yeah, that's great for the beach, but when you're at work, you do need to dress professionally. Now, I'm not saying you have to wear a classic business suit. You can maybe with your blouse, the pattern can be a little more of a, with a boho vibe, or some kind of details, a little more of a flare pant or something. But so I think you're right. It is important to be authentic, but I think it's also important to be appropriate. And I think we're losing a lot of that these days.
We really are.
It's kind of
Take a look at the amount of dress shops or women's business clothing. I'm in New Brunswick here, and we have minimal shops. We
sad.
used to have quite a few women's business suit shops and things like that. We don't have those anymore. And we definitely have quite a few of the high cost of fast fashion. We've got H&M stores, H&M stores and things
Yeah.
like that. And so now we've got this other huge problem of, well, I'm going to wear what I feel like. Okay, but you're not investing. You're not investing in your clothes. You're
Mm-hmm.
not investing in your look. You're not investing in your future.
Mm-hmm. It is changing a little bit. I have noticed this year that people are talking more about sustainable fashion, about capsule wardrobes, about
Yes.
reconfiguring their wardrobes and their outfits. They're thinking a little more about quality and, where things are made and how they're made.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see if we have a shift. I mean, Forever 21's gone out of business.
Yes.
A lot of these fast fashion places have gone out of business. So we'll see.
Right.
Maybe we're getting back to quality.
I would love to see quality and style versus trend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah,
that.
I mean, a little bit of trend is fun, but when
Oh
you're just
yeah,
all trend, you're right.
yeah, a little bit's great fun.
Yeah, it's like a little spice.
Oh yeah. What were some of the obstacles you found when you were on your journey, and how did you overcome them?
With image consulting or with a
Yeah.
website? Oh, with image consulting. Well, I didn't do image consulting very long, like one-on-one image consulting. I found that wasn't so much for me. I'm more of a group person. So I always preferred talking to groups, helping, having seminars, day seminars, or on my website, I have my community that I talk to. I found the one-on-one wasn't as much for me. So I guess that was one thing I had to overcome. I started off doing the one-on-one and I just wasn't feeling good about it. I wasn't happy. And I felt kind of guilty, but then I thought, you know what? Some people prefer one-on-one and some people prefer, more of a group, seminar or workshop.
Yeah.
And so then I just got over it. I thought, well, I'm just going to do the group stuff. And then it progressed to online group stuff, which I really love. I have a fantastic group of ladies at Fabulous After 40, and we all chat and we share photos. And, it's really important, not just the fashion aspect of it, but just having girlfriends after 40.
Yeah.
At this stage.
Like-minded.
Yeah, you've been so busy raising your kids and thinking of other people, and now it's time to think of yourself, have some fun with fashion, have some fun with other women. Yes. And that's what it's all about. You look good, you feel good, and life is so much more fun. And don't we deserve to have a little fun at 40 plus?
Every day. I'm also, I'm looking at the industry now because, as I've grown through the years, and, we went from, Dallas with the shoulder pads out to here. And sometimes you're seeing on Facebook videos from the 80s of the hair and the styles, and you think, oh my gosh, I remember that. And then you look at the industry now, and it went through quite a casual phase. Mm-hmm. And now we're becoming, as you said, much more aware of the integrity of
Yeah.
the energy in our clothing. Who's making our clothing? Where does it come from? Is it fair? Is it equitable for everyone involved? What do our landfills look like? You know, is it better to wear good quality clothing and wear it well? You know, so I think
it's going to be a hard sell, though. I think people are so used to just wearing things a couple of times and then, let's on to the next thing, you know. But it's nice to see people waking up, because it is a big waste. It is such a sad thing.
Yes.
And vintage is becoming popular again.
And the quality of vintage clothing was beautiful. You know, so I think that we're seeing a resurgence of maybe addressing with more thought and quality, I would hope.
Yes, and I find when you wear quality clothes, you feel better too. It's hard to go back once you start wearing quality clothing.
Yes, and the other thing too is the energy. You feel good. You know, if your handbag is $10 or $100 or $1,000, that feels different.
Yeah, it does. But you know, things get expensive, so you can mix it up. You know, you can mix up some high-low, which is always popular. I mean, if it is a trendy item, I say, well, if it's a trendy item, you know, you don't want to spend a lot.
Go low.
So you might want to go to Zara or H&M, you know, for your blouse, perhaps. If you know, I've got a blue snakeskin blouse here, you know, so I'm not going to pay hundreds of dollars for a blouse like this. But I have a velvet blazer on right now. This is a classic, gorgeous purple velvet blazer. Theory. Paid $1 for this, but I mean, look at this. This is never going to go out of style. This I will have forever. I can wear it a million different ways. So that's where it all, you know, that's what you have to think about, that high-low.
Where do I want to invest?
Right. Where do I want to invest? And I can wear this to work. I can wear this in the evening. I can wear this casual with jeans. So many things where you're more limited with something trendy like a blue and fuchsia snakeskin blouse, which is fun. But as I said, I'm not going to pay a ton of money for that.
No. What do you think the future of image consulting looks like to you?
Oh my gosh, that is a great question. I am the VP of Communications for AICI Canada.
Yes.
And we have talked about that a lot. You know, the image business was booming in North America years ago, and it's kind of gone, you know, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I think there's all these TV shows, and every department store has stylists now, and everybody's a stylist. But, you know, people don't really realize that stylists aren't the same thing as image consultants. I mean, stylists just want to sell you clothes. They want to sell you the trend of the moment.
And they want to sell you their clothes.
Right. And as you know, an image consultant, they're not working for anybody. They're independent.
No, they work for you, the client.
Yeah. And they're more tuned into your body. They're not going to say, oh, you know, wear that just because it's the style. They're going to say, yeah, I wouldn't wear that because of your coloring and your body type, but this might work. So there's a huge difference there. And I think in North America, somehow that's been, I don't know, they don't understand the difference between a stylist and an image consultant. I think the corporate world is more casual as well, which makes it more challenging for image consultants in North America to get work in that area.
Yes.
They're more likely to be executive business coaches, teaching more communication skills and so forth. But in places like Mexico and India and China, it is exploding because it's all new to them. They've never heard of any of this stuff.
Right.
So I don't know what the future is of image consulting. I think it's just online. I mean, that's where people are. You have to go where the people are. And I reach a lot of women online, and they all like being together online and learning about how to look great. So I think the future for image consulting is online.
I agree. I have my studio set up here. I've got my lighting set up. I've got my sound set up. I've got webcam. I'm learning how to do online classes.
Great.
I have no problem teaching. I have no problem speaking. I have, so I'm really building all of that to say, who wants to travel. I want to be in this in an hour, not an hour on the road, an hour in the class,
Right.
and then an hour home. I want this at my convenience. I want to book it. I want to do it on Zoom. I want to have my cup of tea while you have your cup of tea.
Yeah.
And we'll,
All
you know,
right.
cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, it's a changing world, isn't it? Yeah, I know.
And I
Everybody.
do love it. I did a lot of my degrees. I mean, I did all my image consulting online and then went to Toronto for
Okay.
10 days for the mastery with Karen Brunger.
Yes, I trained with Karen as well.
Fantastic experience.
Yes, she's an excellent teacher.
Oh, yes. So now I'm going to prepare to do my portfolio and join and do my exams.
Good.
And I will be the only accredited image consultant this side of the Ontario border.
Wow, fantastic. Congratulations. Yeah. That'll be wonderful.
Oh, yeah. So that's on the plate right now to do that. So I'm very excited. If you were going to give advice for someone joining this industry right now, what would it look like? It would be, say, get your e-marketing and your online presence established and learn how to do that, I think would be one.
I would say establish a strong niche, because when you try to be everything to everybody, I mean, I think people starting out think, well, I'm going to be an image consultant and I'm going to help teenagers and I'm going to help men and I'm going to help women and I'm going to help women over 40.
World.
Help corporate and I'm going to help TV personalities. You know what? When you try to help everybody, you help nobody.
Exactly.
You actually become weaker. If you can niche it down, for example, I picked women over 40 because that's my passion. Some people might pick men, some people might like to teach teenagers, whatever. And if you can narrow your niche, you're going to be more successful, because when people come to your website, they're going to, and you say what you do, they're going to see exactly what do you want? Do you want an expert, or do you want someone who kind of does a little bit of everything? No, you want an expert. So if you're an expert in something, I know they might think, oh, no, I'm limiting my business by just doing that one niche, but it's actually the opposite. So that would be
securing a whole market.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be one piece of advice. The other thing would be to make sure you're trained with really good people. And the third thing I would say is get online right away. I have people, I was talking to a gal last night, but they're thinking, well, I like the personal part. I don't know if I want to get online. Well, that's fine.
No, that's great. Get online.
Do the personal stuff, but I kind of compare it to, when bank machines first came in and people were like, I don't want to go to a bank machine. I just want to go to the teller, and I don't think that's right. And it's the same thing. It's scary, it's new, but once you jump in, as you know, into this online world, it's a whole other world. So many opportunities for marketing your business on Facebook, on Instagram, on your blog, and selling too, selling clothing, working with people, like you said, on Skype or Zoom.
Yes.
It's really, if you don't get online, your business is going to be very narrow. Your opportunities will increase like that if you get online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh no, I completely agree.
So good branding, good website, and a strong niche.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Well, Deborah, I'm so glad that you were able to join me today. Thank you so much.
It's been wonderful. I've enjoyed it so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, it was great having you, and you have a great day. And I'll post your website in the thumbnail for our video on YouTube, and I'll send you an email so you can share it with your folks in your group. And everyone, if you love this video, please like, subscribe to the channel, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine.
You're welcome.